when you're with someone, even if you're in an open relationship, you're kind of like, well, I'll be able to do it next month, or, next month will be good, or, we'll make it work. We love each other. It'll be fine.
Well, and we're in this for the long haul, right?
And we're in this for the long haul.
Yeah.
And then when it just happens with someone else, and it seems easy,
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot there.
Welcome to Making Polyamory Work. Hi, I'm Libby Sinback, and I want to thank you for being with me today. I'm committed to helping people who live and love outside the status quo have extraordinary relationships, because relationships are at the core of our well-being as humans. I think love is why we're here and how we heal. There's a very special guest today on Making Polyamory Work. My partner, my spouse, my co-parent, my lover, Drew. Drew's been on the podcast before, but it's literally been years, and so I thought it was time to bring him back. And one of the reasons is that, I thought it would be useful to hear his side in response to the last episode on what happens when you're in a game-changer relationship. Like, what happens when you're the established partner of someone who goes through something like that? And this conversation is really personal, and it's just our story. It's not like a manual for how to do it. But what I know is that sometimes stories are really helpful. And the truth is, we did make it through a really challenging experience and are better for it on the other side. And I think people need to hear stories like that. I also really want to appreciate Drew for being willing to talk about this with me in a very public way, because it's vulnerable. My hope is, as you listen, that you will listen with a kind and compassionate heart, because this is literally one of the hardest times in our relationship that we're talking about. I also welcome your curious questions. I welcome your thoughts, and I will see you on the other side. Hey.
Hey.
Welcome to the show. I think I want to start with this question. What advice would you have for someone who finds themselves in the situation you were in?
I think for me, it was getting to the point where I really asked myself, why am I in this relationship? Was it really about how you were acting towards me, or how you felt towards me, or what I was getting out of that? Or was it the things that I was doing by being in the relationship? And, taking on that part of it for myself and saying, oh, no, I actually really like what I'm doing here. I like being your partner, was really pivotal for me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So if you were going to translate to advice for someone else, how would you put it?
Take stock of what you're doing and why you're doing it.
Mm-hmm.
I think you talk a lot about people just getting into relationships, assuming that there's a certain plan, and not actually evaluating why they're doing what they're doing.
Yeah.
And what they want out of it is that's one thing, but also who you are in it is the really empowering thing, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you said that thing about, think about why you're there, and are you there because of how someone else feels about you,
mm-hmm.
or what you're even imagining that they're feeling about you, whether that's true or not, right? How would that be why wouldn't I want to be in a relationship with someone because of how much they love me? Why wouldn't that be a good idea? I don't understand.
I mean, I do want to be loved. And in this case, there wasn't a lack of love that I felt. But it was more like, why am I focused so much on what you're doing when that's not really what I value?
Ouch.
No. Not that I don't value what you're doing, but that's not my thing to drive,
Totally. Yeah. That
right?
makes sense.
Yeah.
And so what was yours to drive was
me, what I'm doing, what I wanted to ask for, what I wanted to do with my time, how I wanted to show up, how I wanted to care for you, how I wanted to care for myself, you know?
Yeah. So let's back up a little bit.
Mhm.
Some folks may have already listened to the previous episode that I did where it was me talking about what it's like when you get in a relationship with someone who just changes the whole game.
Yeah.
Which happened to us.
Mhm.
And I told my story. But from your perspective, what's the story that we're talking about here?
I don't know where to start. Talking about you and me and
Yeah.
us going through a big period in our relationship where you were seeing someone else. I was really upset about it.
Mm-hmm. To be clear, we'd been non-monogamous for years at that point.
Yeah.
What was hard about it for you?
You were finding sexual connection and a romantic connection with someone who was able to give you things that you really wanted, that you felt like I hadn't been able to, or it hadn't clicked for us.
Yeah.
And that was really hard for me.
Yeah. What was hard about it?
I mean, because I want to give you
Yeah.
all the things you want and do it well. And, you know, there are reasons why sometimes that's been really hard for me. And, you know, when you're with someone, even if you're in an open relationship, you're kind of like, well, you know, I'll be able to do it next month, or, you know, next month will be good, or, you know, we'll make it work. We love each other. It'll be fine.
Well, and we're in this for the long haul, right?
And we're in this for the long haul.
Yeah.
And then when it just happens with someone else, and it seems easy,
Mm-hmm.
you know, there's a lot there.
Yeah. Do you remember what was the moment or moments or like things that really were getting to you initially?
I just think the attention and the time and the I don't know. It's hard to say.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there was one real turning point
Mm-hmm.
where it really hit me.
Okay.
And that was the time that we were all at kind of a small gathering together.
For my birthday.
For your birthday. And I left to go home early.
Yeah.
And you know, you stayed, and, you know, there was sex. And I, you know, for some reason, I stayed up late that night.
So when you left, did you know that there was stuff happening? Like, I can't even remember.
Yeah, I think so.
You did?
Mhm.
Okay. And so you left. Stuff was happening without you, with me and Tom and my other partner.
Yeah, I also remember I couldn't reach you that night. Like, I texted you once or twice and never got a response.
Oh, yeah.
And then, you know, in the morning, you know, the three of you showed up, and it seemed all very chummy, and I felt kind of like an outsider.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And I think that was really the trigger.
Yeah. Feeling like an outsider.
Yeah. And I you know, looking back on it now, and we'll probably get into this later, like, it was triggering feelings that I had before, right? But that I hadn't had in our relationship.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was a new it was a new feeling that we never had between us before.
Yeah.
That was a big, like, whoa for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there was like the focused attention that I was giving the relationship. There was the amount of time I was spending, maybe thinking about it, talking about it, spending time with Tom, et cetera. Was I spending like too much time with him? Did you feel like I was neglecting like our family or like you or anything like that?
There were times when, you know, I was trying to get a hold of you for some family thing, and you were with Tom, and you just seemed, you know, in that experience and not
on my phone. Yeah. And not responding to texts. So sometimes it was like hard to get a hold of me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, you know, that happens, but it
does.
It was also triggering.
Yeah. And that makes sense. Like, and I think that's a common thing, particularly for couples who are in our dynamic where we're living together. So like we're around each other a lot, which means it's not like when I'm home, I'm never on my phone, right? So it's not like you never saw me on my phone with Tom, but then on vice versa, because there's this time that Tom and I are spending together without you, where I'm away.
Sometimes you would be on your phone with me. And I'd be like, oh, you're on your phone a lot when you're around me. But
well, that's what I mean. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm saying like I would be on my phone with Tom while you were around. And so you'd see me doing that.
Yeah.
But then when I was with him and you were trying to reach me, I was not responsive.
Right.
Because I was away and I was focused. So yeah, that makes sense. That would also like even just noticing that discrepancy.
And I think also around that time you started using a lot of language of like I've never this has never happened to me before. I've never felt this way before.
Yeah.
This has never worked for me sexually this way before.
Yeah.
And that's when it started to get really
So that was hard for you.
hard. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, so what were some of the things that you were feeling?
It's so weird because I look back at it now and like even then I probably had these thoughts. Like I never set out to be like the number one sex haver. It was never like logically important to me that you and I like have the best sexual relationship of our lives together.
Right.
That we have ever had or will ever have with any other person. And yet, those feelings were there anyway, as if that was the case.
Well, and what feelings? You mean like feelings of like inadequacy or feelings of like, oh, I'm not the best and something like that? Or
I mean, there were real feelings of abandonment.
Okay. Yeah.
Like I felt like our sexuality was kind of a journey that we were on together.
Yeah.
And now I was increasingly not part of that journey or not relevant to it, for you.
Okay. Yeah. That makes sense. So it's like when I was going on a journey on my own, that made you feel left behind?
Yeah. Even though like, my values and what I want out of a relationship is for you to be able to go on journeys and have those journeys be great. And like I am someone that I think experiences a lot of compersion.
Yeah.
Like a tremendous amount of compersion.
Yeah,
I know.
Yeah.
Sometimes to the point that it's a problem.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it wasn't working like that.
Yeah. Well, and that makes sense, like that there was this like dissonance between how you like wanted to feel and how you were actually feeling, where like you wanted to feel happy for me and instead you felt abandoned. Yeah. What were some other stuff you felt?
I don't know. I mean, like things kept working out in ways that seemed just thematically hurtful. There'd be times when I wanted you and you weren't there. Or I wanted things from you emotionally, sexually, attention-wise that I wasn't getting. And things developed on from there in terms of we haven't even talked about yet that this whole relationship kind of inspired you to take stock of what you wanted.
Yeah. Well, but I want to actually stay with that thing that you just said there.
Yeah.
Because I think that what you're describing is something like it's worth talking about a little bit.
Okay.
Because the way that I experienced that was really different.
Yeah.
And what I think you were experiencing, and I want you to correct me if I'm wrong, is that like before Tom, I think I was always seeking you out a little bit more than you were seeking me out. And so if you wanted me, I was pretty much available, And so sometimes you were actually like, I'm busy, like I need some space, like you were often asking me for space. And then that just flipped.
Yeah.
Where now you wanted me and it's not that I didn't want you. It's just that I wasn't like asking constantly. And so the polarity shifted.
Yeah.
And then suddenly you were in this place where you had to start asking for my time and my energy and attention. And that didn't feel good.
Yeah. And I'm not good at asking. Period.
Right. Well, and how great that for a long time in our relationship, you didn't have to.
Right.
I wanted you so much that I was like honestly over functioning to get what I wanted. And then I stopped doing that because I was getting what I wanted somewhere else without having to do that.
Some of the things you wanted.
Yeah, not everything. No, absolutely not. And
I mean, we were like raising kids and doing that was a lot of work. And for me, there were times in my life where I was like, there's work and then there's kids.
Right.
Like, that's it.
Right.
How's there time for anything else?
Yeah.
And suddenly 100%. For you, there was.
Yeah. Well, and it was, I mean, I talk about this in the episode, but like it was just lighting me up inside in a way that like I had no idea how much I needed.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think like what you're outlining now, it helps me understand like why that was hard for you. And it was hard for you to be happy for me because it was just flipping so much on its head for you and also kicking up old stuff, which we'll talk about later too. But then, let's add on the other layer of pain, right? There was another layer of pain. So all that was happening. And then we stopped having sex. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that we stopped having sex. Because that was the one place where the polarity was never flipped.
Mm-hmm.
You always wanted more sex with me than I wanted to have with you.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't because, like, I didn't care about our sexual relationship or I wasn't interested in that with you. In fact, I really wanted that to continue to grow and flourish.
Well, I think some of our interpersonal conflicts started to show up in, the last few times that we had sex.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it became, awkward and contentious. And that's like,
killer. And I mean, I think so many things, and this is just normal for any domestically partnered couple, especially a domestically partnered couple raising young neurodivergent kids. There was just so many things for us to have friction around or to have disappointment around or to have frustration around. And also there was just stress.
Mm-hmm.
And so I remember during that time.
We could never do our best on everything we were trying to do.
No. And
always
then
disappointing.
Well, and I was tired a lot.
Yeah.
Like, I was just tired. I was so tired. And I think you were tired.
Yeah.
And I think then we just showed up to sex wanting it to be effortless.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't effortless because of some differences that we have in how we work and different stories that we had about how sex was supposed to happen and what it was supposed to be like and ways in which we struggled to communicate about that with each other. Like, so many things got in the way. And then I still feel like I had to do it.
Right.
Like, I still feel like I have to do this. And honestly, when I started dating Tom, I felt even more like I had to do it because I didn't want you to feel like I had abandoned our sex life.
Right.
But then there was a certain point where I realized I can't do this if I feel like I have to do it. That's going to actually destroy it.
Well, and my aversion to asking and pushing directly for what I want,
that was a problem.
Was a real problem in that because the reason that I have that is in part because I have a history of not wanting to do that,
not wanting to impose
or pressure, and like I hate that idea.
Like, yeah. Yeah. And then, but if it has to be my idea and I'm tired, forget it. Right. But I would still push myself anyway. And I think it was when I was realizing I'm not enjoying this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not enjoying pushing myself. I'm not enjoying what happens when I do. And then, there is me realizing I'm on the A spectrum thing and me just understanding, like, for me, there are the way I contextualize my asexuality now is that there's just such a huge pile of breaks between me and sex.
Yeah.
And there's so many other things that are way less effortful. And when I can get past all the breaks, it's quite enjoyable. I love it. It's wonderful. But it's so hard sometimes to get past those breaks that for me, I'm like, it's totally not worth it. And some of the breaks are things like fucking patriarchy. Some of the breaks are what's happening in the world with how shitty our public officials are and what we hear about, those kinds of things. Like, those can make me go, I never want anybody to touch me ever again. Like, that's sometimes how I feel. And I also just don't have that thing that I don't have that drive that I think I hear that allosexual people do of I see somebody, I feel horny, I just want to bone.
I got to do something about it.
That just doesn't happen inside me like that. Yeah. Like, it's more like, let's do this art project together. If it's going to be a good art project and we have similar ideas about what kind of art we want to make, then sure. And so I think that, I expressed that to you.
Yeah.
And, that's where I was at. And I think that then you were like,
I was struggling both to respect that. And again, when you find out your partner has identified a new thing about themselves, like they're queer or they're on the A spectrum, you want to be a good partner, be like, oh gosh, I want to be a good supportive partner to this person with this identity because I love them. But at the same time, it felt like you were kind of taking stock and a reset and, you were keeping the things that you liked and I didn't make the cut.
Oh, yeah.
I was on the side with patriarchy.
Oh, no.
Tom was on the other side, somehow immune from that.
Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah. And what was that like?
It was hard.
I mean, you can get more dramatic than that.
It felt insulting. It made me feel dirty.
Oh,
Sometimes.
honey. Yeah. I was thinking like that would just be a dagger to my heart.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like, I hate that.
Mhm.
And like, you can hear me saying it now and we can talk about it now. And I hope you can hear that, like, that wasn't what was happening for me.
I know.
You know, okay. I know you know. But like,
Yeah.
I could, like, it's just like, I can also see that, like how, and it makes so much sense even as you're saying it now. Like, one of the things you would tell me over and over again is just like, I just don't feel like you're seeing me. I just don't feel like you're seeing me. And now hearing you say, like, yeah, I grouped you over with, you know, patriarchy, rape culture.
Yeah.
And the thing is, it was somewhat true, but not in the way that you're describing it. It was true in the sense that I had shown up to our sexual dynamic with you with all that shit
Yeah.
undealt with in me, and then was acting out patterns inside of our sexual connection that were repeating that. And there were aspects of how that was, you know, how that was amplified by like our domestic dynamic. And
I mean, you can see how it was kind of a whiplash for me in my identity in our relationship, because when we first got together, part of the reason you were excited about me was like, oh, wait, this guy doesn't mind if other people see me naked, doesn't mind if I date or fall in love or make out with other people. Like, you know, it's okay to get this person aroused and then for nothing to happen. Like,
Yeah.
that's not a bad thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
You were, you know, I felt like you were bragging about me.
Whew. And then it all changed. And you said it was like torture.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. And I guess maybe, I don't know how much you want to say about this, but like when you think about those dark nights of the soul where you were really struggling, I guess is there anything you want to say about that? Just for other people to hear what that can be like.
We spent a lot of dark nights of staying up way too late, even though we were already exhausted, you know, trying to hash it out and not getting anywhere.
Nope.
Over and over and over. I can't remember exactly when we made the rule that we've still broken a couple of times, like after a certain hour.
Yeah, no difficult conversations after 9:30.
No new thoughts.
No new thoughts. Yeah,
Yes.
that's yeah. Yeah, I remember. I never seen you like that before. Like I'd never seen. Yeah, I'd never seen you that way before, and I felt so thrown for a loop. And I also felt mad. I felt really mad about it because I was like, oh, now you are like upset and wanting to shift things and change things, and you know.
I mean, I think before that, I mean, this isn't about our sexual relationship. Two things happened to us on my end. One is that I got a job that I was really into. I've never had a job that I was like proud of and excited about before. And so I poured a lot of energy into that. And you definitely felt less from me because of that job, which you helped me get, by the way.
Well, but there were also, I think, a lot of things. You told me this before, that there were a lot of things I was telling you that I needed from you, whether it was attentional or emotional or logistical. Like, it's not that you were not, I don't think you were in any way like not a participant in all the aspects of like domestic life. Like, you know, there's a lot on the internet about like the mental load and how a lot of spouses, husbands especially, are like checked out of that. And that they're not socialized to care. And I don't feel like that was true in our relationship. And at the same time, there were lots of moments where it felt true, where I was like, yeah, in this thing, I am holding all of it. And I didn't actually ask to. Yeah. And yeah, in this thing, I feel really alone and like unsupported. And then like...
You decided that certain things needed to be done and had to happen. And I wasn't there with you.
No. You kind of crapped on it sometimes.
Yeah.
And
because I didn't want to do all those extra things. but then it got to be, you know, looking for child care coverage that we both needed and more logistical things that absolutely needed to be done. Well, and I was not on top of those.
No.
I was not proactive, and you were.
And again, I was asking.
Yeah.
And I was saying what I needed. And you know, I know I wasn't saying it in the best ways. I know that I hadn't learned yet really like how to express myself with, you know, compassion and understanding and not with criticism, you know, that kind of thing. But I think you got the message. And a thing you told me was you were like, I am going to work on that, just not right now. I am going to work on that, just not right now. And then a thing that I remember you telling me you felt when Tom showed up and I sent him articles and he read them.
Yeah.
Was you said, "Oh shit, I think I missed my window."
Yeah.
Like, oh, did I miss my chance to start showing up? I was going to start showing up in some of these ways. And now I feel like you're not going to notice if I do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that was a big fear you had, that like, even if you did shift at this point, I wasn't going to care.
Yeah. You are a person who, when you're focused on something, people can say things and you won't hear them at all. Like
That's true. I have ADHD.
And I felt there when Tom was around, I was less visible.
Oh,
like
yeah.
as a person, and I would say things and you literally out loud to you, and you literally wouldn't hear them.
Yeah,
and like that feeling happened a lot.
Yeah, and unfortunately that happens with everybody, not just you, and not just Tom. Like that is a feature of how my brain works, but I can see, like, with all that other stuff piled onto it,
Yeah,
that you would see it as I'm looking at him and not at you, when really I just have ADHD. But yeah, so this was hard.
Yeah,
it was really hard, and I will tell you, just for people listening, I've shared this before. I will share it again. I will share it again until the day I die. Honey, did it work for you at all when I just explained what was going on for me? Did that calm you down? Did you accept that? Were you able to, like, if you were telling me, I feel like you're not looking at me, I feel like you're not seeing me, I feel abandoned, or whatever you were expressing, did it help for me to say, oh, no, you're not abandoned. Oh, no, I'm not doing that. That's not happening.
That's a complicated question, actually, because I both see what you're saying, which is that no, it wasn't easy for me to see your perspective.
No, you'd argue with me,
but it also did help. Like, it did help for.
Well, now you're ruining everything.
It also did, but it helped that you were still there for me. That we still showed up for each other in a lot of ways. That we were still, caring and affectionate.
That I was willing to hash it out with you.
Yeah.
Instead of just going, whatever, you're not going to get it, forget it, I don't want to talk to you.
Yeah. When I was willing to say, hey, this really helps. You were right there listening, and you made.
Well, I'm talking about a specific thing, though, which is, like, if you were having a big feeling.
Yeah.
And then I would get upset about your big feeling and tell you why you didn't need to feel that way.
Oh, yeah.
Usually that doesn't actually fix your feeling.
No.
It usually just makes you not feel seen and heard.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because the thing is, like, and I think this is a skill we both have had to learn and are still, I think, practicing with each other, is this ability to, like, hear someone's experience and interpretation of us and the pain that they're trying to tell us about. And then we need to go, oh, I see you're in pain. Let me be with that. Instead of, hey, that pain that you're feeling is based on a story that's not true. Can I fix that story for you real quick? And then I'm sure the pain will go away.
Oh, yeah. And I'm a my brain is exactly like that. Anyone is upset, I'm like, oh, let me give you all the information you seem to be missing.
Yeah, but that doesn't even.
So you can reorient your way of seeing things with that information.
But it doesn't even work for you when someone does that with you.
Sometimes.
Yeah. Not if you're really upset.
Yeah.
So anyway, I think that is one thing that, like, shifted things, is stopping trying to get on the same page on the story and recognize we were having two different experiences of the same thing. And that was really hard, because I hate that. I hate when you don't see it the way I see it, and there's nothing I can do to help you see it the other way. And I think you were feeling the same way about me. Like, you were, like, pointing things out and saying, I think this is happening. And I was like, it's not. And you're like, but look at this, this, and this, and this. And I was, and so we would have a lot of fights like that. Yeah. And I remember one really hard time that scared the crap out of me, when you started saying things like, maybe I should just stop loving you.
Yeah.
So that I won't.
It was even just being, stop leaning into being attracted to you.
Yeah. Stop feeling things for you. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that's what you said. It's like, maybe I just shut off my feelings, and that'll be better, and I'll be able to survive this.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that really scared me, because I really...
I don't think I expected it to scare you necessarily, but...
That's funny, because, like, because like, when you said that, I was like, wait a minute. I'm still in love with you. What do you mean, shut off your feelings? That sounds really horrible. Although, even as I'm saying it now, if you had done that, it would have fixed the polarity back in your favor.
Yeah.
But it would have felt like shit.
Yeah.
So I'm glad you didn't.
No, it wasn't something I was seriously considering.
Yeah.
Just popped into my head. One of those logical
sure
things to
and
propose.
I think it's important to share just because I think that's what a lot of people feel sometimes. Like when you're in pain, well, maybe I just have to numb everything so I don't have to feel, because that's better than the pain, and that makes sense. But you chose something else. And I wonder if you'd be willing to talk about how you got there. Like, what were some of the turning points for you that helped you not choose that?
You said that there were 3.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't think of them in order.
Yeah, there's not an order.
I mean, one was like the self-reflection of like, why is this hitting me so hard? One of those ways was definitely looking into my past relationships, looking at all the times like, I had big romantic attraction to people and it hadn't worked out, and some of the things that happened around it. My previous marriage, like one of the things that wasn't the cause of, but was definitely in there for me in the mix, was my wife becoming close to another person who I was also close to. And realizing that, like, hey, no, that still messed me up in ways that make this impact way bigger than necessarily it should.
And I remember when you told me that insight that you had, and I remember going, oh my gosh, that makes so much sense. Because it's like our brains kind of are always trying to map a novel experience onto something we already know.
Yeah.
And so you were in a situation that was totally new, but your brain had an experience of something really similar, different in a lot of significant ways, but felt similar. And so, of course, your brain would go, "Oh, this is that."
Yeah.
And that was devastating.
Yeah. And that guy and Tom both had beards.
I know.
So but like, your brain is like that. On a certain level. It's like it tries to find all the different connections and it doesn't tell you it's doing that.
No.
It just does.
Yeah.
And so digging into that was really important because I was like, hey, wait. There's clearly a disconnect between how big my feelings are and what I intellectually think about this situation, which I'm someone that has a lot of capacity for compersion. And like I love seeing you dance with other people. Like I am not ever going to be as good as the dancers that you dance with, but like it's incredible to watch you with a really good dancer, and I love dancing with you, and like none of that is a big problem for me,
right?
And intellectually, like and to my values, like I fully supported you being able to explore whatever was going well for you, like making you happy. I wanted to support that. I wanted to support that relationship. I went out of my way to make space and, provide childcare at times and schedule around to make it so that you had time, even when things were complicated on your end.
Yeah.
We don't have to get into those complications, but like you had to figure out ways to see each other and what was too much and too little. And I was on board for that because I valued that. I valued vacationing altogether. But these big feelings were still going on. So realizing that what parts of me were being activated was really important and a big turning point. In some ways, it was a relief. Right. To realize that. It's like, oh, oh yeah. Wait, I've been through stuff like this before.
Right.
Several times, actually.
Oh, yeah.
And I haven't handled it well any of those times.
Yeah.
It's not surprising that I wouldn't handle it well this time.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, I think plenty of people would say that even without like you imprinting what happened in the past on what was currently happening, that there's ways in which it was just objectively hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think it's so important what you said about but intellectually on paper with my value system, this was okay for me.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't outside of our agreements. It wasn't outside of what, we were hoping for in our non-monogamy journey. So yeah, I think that's important to say.
I mean, part of that too is like, I want to think of you as like a full and whole person and not someone that I control. And I want to think about you going out and doing things that bring you joy or feel like the arrow where the arrow of fate is leading you. In part because I want you to enjoy that in me.
I wish you'd said some of this stuff when because you didn't say any of this when this was all happening. I love hearing it now.
Well, it requires doing a lot of thinking
Yeah.
about things. And having had this conversation a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So second.
And then I'm transitioning into the second thing, which is that, I also started having a relationship that was really like exciting and fulfilling for me.
Mm-hmm.
And that put me in your shoes in a little bit, right?
Mm-hmm.
It made it way easier to recognize that, I'm loving this relationship with this other person.
Mm-hmm.
It's great. I'm getting a lot of things out of it,
Mm-hmm.
but it hasn't changed how I feel about Libby at all.
Right.
In fact, there's still things that I want with Libby that we don't have.
Right.
And realizing, yeah, that makes a lot more sense that when she's telling me that's how she feels too.
Yeah.
That
it's actually true.
Like you had, yeah, I was lucky enough to actually experience that and have like the physiological evidence of like, oh no, that's not a silly thing. You don't just forget about someone else. I know this intellectually. You don't just because you have a second kid doesn't mean like the first kid gets tossed out the window.
So that helped. And that's not always like, I sometimes wonder about that one. Like, what would have happened if that hadn't happened? Like, how much harder would it have been if you didn't have like a proof of concept in your own body and your own system and your own heart?
Yeah.
I don't know.
And then, all throughout this, I think there was a process of me doing what I often do when I do my best work in dealing with, big emotional crises is leaning in, leaning into our relationship, leaning into the things that I knew I could do well, that actually made me feel good to do rather than, complaining about what is or isn't happening with us or how we're working or not
or
working.
What I'm doing.
Or what you're doing or what you're feeling. Like, what am I doing in this relationship? Leaned into being an even better like collaborator with you in parenting stuff. Like I think that's something that's really always brought us really close together is feeling like, gosh, we're a good team. When I sit down and take control of what I want and what I want to do in a relationship, why am I here?
Mm-hmm.
What really feels good to me is me putting in the work to have a relationship with you. Not what you're capable of or up for or happening at any given day.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's great value in the stuff that I do that makes you happy and you tell me makes you happy. That's really fulfilling.
Yeah.
And not because I'm hoping to get something out of it in return.
Right. Right.
Or fix anything, any promise of anything being fixed.
Yeah. Can I just tell you, like, that's like when you said that, I mean, I always get a little bit teary when you say that because obviously we all go through these periods of like ups and downs, or we go through periods of time where one person has the energy to like put a lot more effort into the relationship and someone else may not. And that's not about how much you might love each other or how much you care. Yeah. It's just about whatever you might have in that given moment. It's like about capacity or ability. Yeah. I know if we were keeping score, like at any given time, if you like pause the scorecard, somebody's in the red and somebody's in the black.
Keeping a calendar is about all we have the energy for. Keeping score on top of that would be a statistical nightmare.
So that's interesting. I think what I'm hearing you say is like you decided to start and it was what you said at the beginning of the episode, right? It's like the shift you did from I'm no longer going to be exclusively focused on what I get from my partner, what I am getting from my partner, not getting just like what am I receiving, but also like what she's feeling or what she's thinking moment to moment. That's not going to be my gauge of whether I'm okay or not okay. I'm instead going to turn towards what makes me feel okay or not okay. Like, did I show up as a partner the way that I wanted to? And did that make me feel good? Did it land with Libby or not? Don't know. Mm-hmm. It's not that you don't care, but like, that's not what it's about for you. Am I getting that?
Yeah, exactly.
So like what you're telling me is you were feeling like I was putting you through torture. Mm-hmm. And then I wasn't stopping, even though I could see that it was putting you through torture. And I wasn't having sex with you. Mm-hmm. to fix it and make you feel better.
Yeah.
So you weren't getting that. And then what you decided to do is say, I'm going to show up even more for Libby. I'm going to show up and see what kind of husband I can really be.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
You don't feel like a chump for doing that.
No, because it's for me. I mean, it's stuff that I know you like, but I like being a caretaker. And that's not actually a part of myself that's connected to sex. In fact, those are like two completely different avenues. If I go into my caretaker mode, we're probably not going to have sexy times because I'm not there.
Right.
I've gone off in the caretaker direction.
Right.
But it is a really empowering part of my personality, and I feel really good doing it, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, and all of these things are like really beautiful and have been for me really beautiful ways to feel thought of.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that was one of my pain points was not feeling thought of. I think that was one of my, I mean, for me, it's wild because it's, again, I never left you.
Yeah.
I was going through my own experience, but I never left us and I never left you. At the same time, I was very afraid you were going to leave me. And when you instead decided not to just not leave me, and not to try to figure out how to be stably miserable with me, but instead when you said, I'm going to show up for you.
Yeah.
Like that changed a lot for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, real quick before we get back to the episode. If you've been listening to this show for a while and you've been nodding along, but then feeling stuck in making these ideas part of your reality, well, I made something for you. It's a workbook based on the most popular episodes of the show, with simple practices and reflection questions so that you can apply this stuff to your life. Just head to libbysinback.com/workbook and grab your copy. So, we went through that hard time and you hung with it. I hung with it. We hung with each other. I didn't break up with Tom. Still with Tom. But our relationships changed in recent years, but it didn't change because of anything between you and me. So what would you say is what helped get us from the other side of the hard, like where it wasn't so hard, to where we are now, which is kind of like, I don't know, madly in love with each other.
I mean, I think we had a lot of like transactional stuff to work through, like specific, like the relationship work of like, when you get upset, that's like triggering for me. I hate it when people get upset. Why do they do that? See, I get irritated. That's different than getting upset. We had to work through that. Like that.
Well, we're still working.
And we're still working through aspects of that. But at least now we know that we're like on the same team.
Yeah.
And working through it.
Yeah. And we're better at halting and rather than letting it just escalate.
Yeah. So there was that.
Yeah.
I think there was also just like the task of being parents and us both working hard on that. And you worked really hard on it, especially times when it was like really painful.
Yeah.
And me finding ways to like step up, take over things, take things off your plate, so that we really felt like we were operating as a unit. Like, that's not sexy stuff at all. It's anti.
Well, it may not be sexy.
It
may not be sexy to you, but actually, it's very sexy to me. It's very sexy when you do the dishes or wait. You know it's really sexy to me.
What?
The sexiest thing you maybe have ever done for me ever.
What?
Is when you showed me my underwear drawer.
Oh, yeah.
That you had, listen, Drew meticulously folded in Marie Kondo style every pair of underwear that I had so that it was all, the edge of it was facing up so I could just take, and he still does this. He didn't do it once and then stop doing it. He does the laundry for our family and he freaking folds my underwear like that every time. And it is magic. It is so, are you kidding me? That is sexy. Maybe, I think you find it sexy too. I think you get a lot of gratification folding my underwear.
I do.
But it is That is, I mean, that is
all the clothes.
magic. That is magic.
Let
And
me
yeah.
let me tell you, folks, laundry is a good task. It's a good task to take over because it's methodical, a little bit engineering. Like if you have the kind of brain that's like mine, it's a great time to just listen to music or even just not listen to anything. Just like be good at folding and think your thoughts, and it's great
Mm.
mental health practice.
Whereas I like hate laundry so much because I can't remember
Perfect.
to take the wet clothes out of the washer and put them in the dryer. I'll put them in the washer. I'll be like all inspired. I'll sort my laundry. I'll put it in, and then I'll forget about it for 3 days, and then it'll stink.
Yep.
So thank God that I'm not the one doing it. Like this is
I don't let that happen.
well, and I mean, so I would actually even say that I think one big way that like that you're describing right there is a big way that I don't know, I felt better about our relationship was when I felt like the domestic and mental load was divided more fairly between us. And it wasn't anybody's fault that it got divided unfairly between us, but I think that actually really made a big difference. And I would even say that another thing that made a big difference was both of us, going through the stuff that we went through with our kids, like discovering that one of our kids is autistic and
Mm-hmm.
like that really causing us to look at ourselves and understand ourselves in a new way and learning how to accommodate him made us also think about maybe accommodating each other and in general, I think, a thing that I think I've grown into a lot. I think you're better at this than I am, but it's a thing that I've grown into a lot is really like accepting and celebrating and honoring differences and respecting them, because sometimes I really do think my way is the best way to do things, or I think my ideas are the best ideas. And
Whereas I know that mine are. But I also strongly believe in letting people have self-determination. And so I don't speak up about it.
yeah, I mean,
I just am like, why did you do that? Oh God.
you just act annoyed. You just act irritated, which is for me the worst because then I just feel judged and reprimanded and
Don't you
wrong.
see?
And
Yeah, that's going to prevent this from happening, and we're going
yeah,
to run out of time for this. Oh my God.
yeah.
I've already planned it all out. Why can't you see the downstream effects of these choices?
Well, and it's funny, I think we both actually hold that value of everybody gets to be who they are
Yeah.
and gets to make their own choices, even if they aren't the choices I would make.
Mm-hmm.
I think we hold that as a value, and I think we both struggle to like actually live into it inside ourselves sometimes, because it would be so much easier if you just saw what I saw and did what I would do, because then I wouldn't have to tell you, and then we wouldn't have to have a disagreement about it. And I think we've gotten better at navigating that.
Yeah.
I think I've gotten better at navigating that. I think there were times where you really just didn't feel respected, like for who you are and how you are.
A lot of self-knowledge goes a long way in all your relationships because you are a little more humble about, yeah, it's upsetting to me, but there's reasons why it's upsetting to me.
Mm-hmm.
I've figured out what those are. They're not shared by everybody, and I understand better why that thing is so upsetting for you.
Yeah.
And just knowing it, being able to say it.
Ooh, you said something really good there, which, I'm going to sum it up, which is like a really good way to respect differences in other people is to understand yourself, to understand yourself as being, just you. Because I think a lot of times we generalize our internal experience out to everybody else. Like everybody must feel this way. Like everybody must be really annoyed when people are talking on top of each other, because obviously that scrambles my brain so much. It obviously scrambles everybody else's brain. But like when you understand, and I think that's where the neurodivergent stuff comes in. Like when you think about neurodiversity, and you understand, oh, no, like you have one neurotype, I have another. Certain things that would make you crazy, I thrive on. And like we had to understand that for our kids' sake. But I think us understanding that for each other and for ourselves, like I needed to understand, oh, not everybody wants this thing that I want in this way that I want it. Not everybody has an easy time with things that I find easy. And, and so it's like honoring, like, hey, this might cost you a lot to do it this way. Are you still, but it's,
I mean, to tie it back to sex, like
yeah, so true.
Recognizing that you don't, like the way that I want you is not the same way that you want me. You still want me, but it's different. It works differently. And like, we got to find ways to make those things work together, or we got to talk to each other about like, hey, let's do it. Let's do this for me.
Well,
let's do this for you.
I mean, that's Betty Martin's Wheel of Consent. And that has been so useful for me to articulate, because I think you historically were just so focused on my experience as like your experience. Like my experience was your experience. Like my pleasure was where you derived your pleasure. And then I didn't know where my pleasure was for me, and like, it's like you wanted to do something with me that you wanted me to enjoy, but then where was what I wanted or what I enjoyed in any of that? And then also where was your experience too?
Whereas my thinking, like, that's like altruistic. I care so very much about pleasing you or what's going on for
smothering.
You. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not altruistic. It's just unclear. It's muddied.
Yeah. And I think like I'm totally willing to like create an agreement, like if we're going to do something together and you were like, I really want to do this and I want you to enjoy it. And I'll be like, cool, I can do that for you.
Yeah. And enjoy it.
On
that level.
But it's for you. It's a gift for you. And the experience is your experience. As long as you're clear on that, then sure, I'm down.
Yeah.
But then if it's about me, what I might want to do is, go for a walk.
Yeah.
If it's for me.
Yeah.
And then, or if it's for me, maybe I want to just like roll around with our underwear on. I don't know, like, or I might want to do more than that. I mean, I might want to do more than that. But yeah, for me, sex is like not the top way that I want to connect.
I mean, I think
it's fun, but
I think maybe that's another addendum to put onto all this. It's like we tried to find ways to connect and be romantic and close, hard, that didn't involve sex.
Yeah, rather than treating our sex life as something broken that we needed to fix, that I needed to fix because I was obviously the problem.
It's like, let's get really, really damn good at cuddling. Or,
we're really good at cuddling. We're really great cuddlers. Or playful.
Playfulness.
Yeah, playfulness, like wrestling or tickling or, scratching.
Oh, yeah.
Showering together, making out.
Butt pushing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, and I mean, that's just an example. That's a really good example of something that is, for you, very sexy, for you to, like, get my performance muscle to relax.
Yeah.
And have me go, and you go, oh yeah, this is like so satisfying. And then, that I think that us continuing to have experiences like that, continuing to prioritize, okay, we're not connecting over here, but where can we connect? Where can we find us as not just co-parents and housemates, but also as lovers?
I mean, we also just took some time, here and there to just be together for even a couple of days where we weren't doing the job parent thing every single day.
Yeah, that's really important.
This
and it's so hard to do.
Battlestar Galactica's 77 minutes thing.
Yeah.
I mean, the reality is that was, and then when COVID came through, it really felt like every battle all the time.
Yeah.
And then we'd be so exhausted by the end.
Yeah. Yeah.
But when we took the time out to spend some time together, we were like, oh gosh, yeah, we're both really fun people.
Yeah, right. Yeah. And that has been really important. And I think like when we were able to lean in, like when you started leaning in, and I think I was also leaning, like I responded to that. It wasn't like it didn't land with me. I think it was easier for those times that we carved out together to not be times where we were dealing with whatever was hard between us. We were actually able to put that down and go, let's just be humans with each other.
Yeah.
Because we'd been putting money in the bank with each other, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And none of that either was like, oh, we did these things and boom, our sex life came roaring back. That's not what happened at all.
No. But how is our sex life now?
It's good. We have fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It did come back.
Yeah.
Took, let's see, 2018 to 2022?
Yeah. I mean, and I think this makes sense, especially with the way you work. There
Mhm.
wasn't a point where we were like, okay, we're going to fix this. We're going to make it work.
Oh, no, I would have been like,
Yeah.
well, because that's the whole point. Like for me, and I think this is true for a lot of people, sex can't be on the to-do list.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure there's someone for whom that is their kink, and good for them, that it like actually does like line up, that if I'm checking the box, it also checks my box,
Yeah.
so to speak. But that was definitely not me. That needed to be coming from a place of all the stress is out of the way. It's over there, and someone has cleared the decks for me, or I have cleared the decks for myself. And then I get to just really sink into what would feel good.
Yeah.
And whatever that is okay. What might feel good could be a cup of hot cocoa, or it could be us getting naked. And I think the more and more I took off any pressure, and you were aware of any way in which you could be pressuring, but not on purpose. Like, I don't think you ever mean to be pressuring.
Yeah.
But I think sometimes when you have a level of desire for me, and then you're just staring at me, whether figuratively or literally, waiting for when I'm going to look at you and say, yeah, let's do it, that feels like pressure to me.
Yeah.
And when you're able to say, hey, just FYI, I'm horny over here. I just want you to know. Like, doing that, it actually, ironically, that doesn't feel pressuring. That feels like you giving me information that then I can do with what I want.
Yeah.
And that feels way better than you not saying anything and just being like, when's it going to happen?
Some of that might be in your head, you realize.
Yes, I do. And a thing I've learned, actually, is to check that out with you. If that's happening inside me, I will tell you, hey, right now I'm imagining that you're just sitting around waiting until I start touching you. And you're like, actually, I was thinking about the fall of the Roman Empire.
No.
No, you're never thinking of that.
A lot of the time I'm thinking about, why won't you finish? Just come to bed so we can go to sleep.
Well, but I'm thinking even like, when we have our Saturday mornings and, there's no one around. And sometimes I'm worried that you're sitting there. And sometimes you are. But sometimes, like you said, you're not. Or you are, but you're not waiting for me. You're just kind of enjoying the feeling.
Yeah.
But again, when I voice it, that sometimes helps you clear it up. Or then it just, at least I can let the pressure off me. I can say, well, that pressure no longer belongs to me because I've said it out loud and now it's gone. And then I can think about what I actually want.
I'm not sure how helpful this is to any random other people.
I think
this is very particular about the way we work.
Oh, sweetie. We're going to get so many emails.
Okay.
But yeah, I guess like you pointed to these turning points, and I guess I wonder if you could just share like how you feel now.
Yeah, I mean, I feel very clear about what I'm here doing and why I'm here and what I love about our relationship.
And we never fight, right? No?
We do.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do.
But we have a lot that we're accomplishing all the time together. And I think that especially, like, there were so many other things that we needed to fix that were just these calamities that came into our lives. Kid working through kids' school stuff and all the
my mom getting sick.
Yeah.
All the
having to move and all the tasks that, like, it would have seemed ridiculous to, be like, the most important thing is that we change up our sex life or work on that right now.
But that's also important to you. I mean, I think it's important. I mean, I don't want to discount that because I know that was and is important to you. And I think it's more important to you than it is to me.
Yeah.
Like, there's so many other ways that we connect that feel really sacred to me that, like, it's not that I don't care about it. It's just not, it just doesn't rank even in the top 5.
Yeah.
But I think for you it does. And that's hard, right? When we're in different places on that. But I think, and so I guess I don't want you to downplay your own desires and things that are important to you there. And at the same time, I think what was important to you, and you correct me if I'm wrong, is that like, we just didn't let that die.
Right.
I put it down.
No, and there was, at one point we talked about, we came to the point where I was like, hey, I really need you to know that I'm really attracted to you,
Mm-hmm.
really horny for you.
Mm-hmm.
I just need you to know that.
Yeah.
It's more important for you to know that and like that than it is for you to reciprocate,
Yeah.
Because it's something that's true for me.
Well, and it's interesting, that kind of goes back to that thing you were saying before about like it being for you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you can tell me and just say it and own it and feel it, then it's like, it doesn't matter what I do with that or don't do with that, as long as you're allowed to feel that and that's allowed to be in the space with us.
Yeah.
And that's about you.
I want you to accept that it's in the space with us and not feel like that has to change where you are.
And that it's not harmful or pressuring.
Yeah.
And it's not.
Yeah.
I love that you're obsessed with me. And I'm obsessed with you too.
Yeah.
I never stopped.
Anything that I'm eating, you have to have a bite of, even if it's something that like I know you won't like.
Come on, don't air all our dirty laundry to our listeners. Goodness gracious.
You're lactose intolerant.
Okay, shh. So,
why do you want this? Yeah.
Any last words for our listeners? No?
I'm terrible with questions like that.
I know. Well, thanks for being on the show and sharing your experience.
Yeah. I love you.
I love you. Thank you for joining me today. If you have any thoughts about what I've said or a question for the show, I'd love to hear from you. You can find me on Instagram at thatpolyammom, or you can reach me on the podcast show website at makingpolyamorywork.com. I'll also say that if you're loving my podcasts but you're looking for more support, I do this support for a living. I help individuals, couples, and groups have amazing relationships, and you can find out more about my offerings on my personal website, libbysinback.com. If you love this podcast, please share it with your friends, your networks, your Instagram stories, etc., and make sure you subscribe so you don't miss an episode. Also, if you listen on iTunes or Spotify, it's really wonderful to leave a review or a comment because it will help more people find the show. Making Polyamory Work is created by me, Libby Sinback. It is edited by Finn of the Normalizing Non-Monogamy podcast and hosted on the Spotify podcast platform.